Well, hello, hello. These waves, they knock me out or knock me down. Well, hello again. You are on the channel Formula of Love. The waves are messing. Look at my hat. Look at my hat. Now, try not to lose the camera, my board, and my paddle. Let's try to organize this stuff. So now, what are we gonna talk about? A lot of things happened today in the world of the greatest scientist of love, whose name is Abraham, who is running an experiment of a lifetime that's called Formula of Love. Now these waves have their own plans. Now, so what's happened today so far? It's Monday, holiday, 6 something o'clock, and I just met this beautiful lady. Look at these beautiful birds. Her name was well, I could say Marilyn, like Marilyn Monroe. Hello, hello. Hello. So Marilyn Monroe came to have lunch. It took me a little while to convince her to have lunch with me at my place. She thought I was having some I don't know what she thought I was having, some maybe, you know, I don't know. Women are afraid that men want to lure them to their place and act ungentleman-like. But I just wanted to talk to her. Wanted to make a movie with her, an interview, but she declined. Красивая шапочка у вас. Очень. Вы не... Интервью можете дать или нет? Интервью. Другой раз. She said no. In Russian. Are you ready? Are you ready? Well, I don't think they're ready. Are you who I think you are? Because I'm making a movie. You? I'm talking to you. Who you talking to? Are you talking to me? Are you? Because I am the only one here. If you're not talking to me, who are you talking to? What's up, baby? Where is that dinner that you coming to? I'm making dinner every night. How are you? Making dinner for my queen here. Oh my goodness, be careful. Every night I'm making a dinner and end up eating it by myself.
Oh no.
By the way, I was just saying to my people, to my audience, I had a lady over for lunch. Took me 10 minutes in the lobby, in the entrance, to convince her to come up. She had ideas. Maybe I was up to no good. I was just having lunch with her. I don't know what she was thinking about. What's that? So then she came up. We had a good... I introduced her to my mother. Wanted to speak to her mom. No, not yet. And we decided to just keep it casual. So what is a good time for you? Tonight. But because tonight is the night. It's like the song. But tonight is the night when I make you feel all right. Whatever the song is, right?
Oh, I see. I was thinking of Betty. What's her name? I was thinking of Betty.
When are you gonna join the forces? We're gonna create a, oh my God, a channel to figure out Formula of Love. So we teach people and ourselves how to love better, stronger, more passionately. Think about it. I'll text you. Look at these waves. Look at these waves. Whoa. In any case, where were we again? We were, I'll see in a little bit. We were talking about this beautiful lady, Marilyn. She's 29 years old. She's fascinating. Very, very open-minded. Well, quite open-minded. And we had a very interesting lunch. She talked to me about everything. I talked to her. We discussed her relationships. I discussed mine. Добрый вечер. Что это? Вот что это такое? Вот при чем здесь это, я не понимаю. Это ни при чем все эти волны. So in any case, Добрый вечер. Вы готовы? Завтра. Помнишь, как в песне? Приходите завтра. Дома буду, может быть. Приходите завтра. Не могу сейчас говорить. О. А где ваши мужья? Вы не можете телефон дать. Мужей. Не ваш, конечно. Чтобы они меня научили мудрости ихней. Вот таких королев. Покорить. Sorry, I was just asking them about their husbands. But anyway, point I want to make. We had a nice conversation, had a nice lunch. I made some signature salad. But then Marilyn had to go home to do her homework. Which I understand. Now, so, hi, how you doing, man? So, oh, thank you, man. Listen, she is faithful to me. But anyway, so what I was saying is that we are on this ride and we are talking about love. So I wanted to tell people a little bit, tell you, my friends, about myself. So I mentioned that I'm 47, I got divorced, I said all that, and now I've been searching for love of my life, and it's been an interesting search, which has made me learn things every day, and I'm trying to see what it is, the formula of love. So in these 2 years, I think I've mentioned it, contacted many different beautiful ladies. In fact, I think around 10,000, because 10-15 a day multiplied by 700 days is around 10,000. So what I learned is that I am looking for a lady who is a bit unique and has certain unique features, and I want to be unique for her. And if she wants me to be better, which she will, that's my goal as well, to be the best I can be for her, the most honest, the most respectful, the most dedicated, the most supportive, the most just good person, and be there for her in a time of need and a time of happiness, sadness. Hold her hand, hold her close, fall asleep with her, wake up. I was saying the story, which now reminds me, which is what I grew up looking at. Is a story when I was maybe 5-6 years old, living in Ukraine. Back then it was known as Soviet Union. This was probably in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, back then. And I often visited my grandparents. They live on the other side of Kiev, which is the capital of Ukraine. So every weekend I used to spend with them. We used to go to a little suburban little house they call dacha, which I helped my grandpa build as much as I could help. So, but then I remember many times in the morning when I used to wake up in my little what do you call in English, like a cot bed, like the little foldable bed. We call in Russian raskладушка. Raskладушка. How you doing?
They asked,
Yes.
this guy has some inflatable.
Not as good.
It's not good.
Not, it's, if you don't,
Stable, yeah?
exactly.
Вот, that's what I need. Okay.
Она нестабильная. Эта фигня, на ней можно хорошо, а на той, это как подушка, блин. Но если не знаешь это, то ты лучшего не знаешь, будет то хорошо, но когда на этой, потом уже неинтересно. На них тяжело стоять.
Окей, спасибо. Я хочу такую же.
Купи такую, только надо ее, you have to find a place to keep it. That's the only problem.
That's the problem.
Maybe in garage you have a little storage. But но-ка, нет, сравнения нету никакого. Очень приятно было. So, bottom line, what I was saying was, when I used to, this is what I told this lady today that I met. We were remembering things from the past. I remember waking up when I was 5-6 years old and in my grandparents' house. My grandpa right now is 96. He lives in New York. My grandma passed away, but she's still here for me. Her name is Elizabeth, and we named our last daughter in her honor, Lisa or Elizabeth. So babushka, we call babushka Lisa in Russian. Babushka is a grandmother. So my grandma and my grandpa, who is now he lives in New York, he's 96. He's a whole story on its own. I used to crawl into their bed at around like maybe 6:30, 7 in the morning, and doze off a little bit. And I will never forget this. What they were doing was talking to each other very quietly, and I didn't know what they were saying in a way because I didn't really pay attention. Okay, it was just so soothing, so tranquil, so just peaceful, hearing them talk to each other in such a loving way about things they were living through together, about life, about probably, I don't know what I didn't really pay. I was half asleep, cuddling next to them, to their warm bodies, hugging them. I remember this, and that's what I want to have in mind, and that's what I had with my ex, and that's what I'll have again with my future wife, is this closeness, which is unbelievable. And I know in my mind that that's not only possible, it will be. And then I think to myself, my grandpa, and my grandma, they're two opposite people. I've never seen anybody love each other stronger than they. And I was only young and I didn't know much, but I felt it. And my grandma, she was a very aristocratic, what we call blue blood, royal a little bit, as much royal as you can be in a communist country. She graduated from a Ukrainian university, which is it's like Harvard in the States. It was for us like that. And my grandpa was a World War II veteran at that time, who was a lieutenant at 19 years of age, who commanded a battalion of 40 men who were twice his age. But he was wise and he knew what was up. So and he was a very down-to-earth guy, very street smart, but not aristocratic like my grandma. But they had this beautiful, beautiful chemistry, and I'm sure physical as well. I mean, I was young to know that, but I felt it because he always like hugged her in a way, in a very sexy way, and like kissed her. And I remember that, and it was so sweet. And then those mornings, I remember they were talking to each other, and it was just something that I'll never forget. I wish I knew what they were talking about now. I wish I remember. Back then I was just dozing off and kind of being lulled by their soothing conversations. But I'm sure somewhere in my subconsciousness it left a mark. So now that's what I'm looking for, that closeness. So having said that, what was I talking about before? I was talking about, let's go back, I think we are far enough. I was talking about the fact that I've been on this search, and a lot of people say to me that it looks to them like I just want to mess around, like screw around, which I understand how it can give people that impression, because a lot of women come and go. In fact, there were like 45 women that I lived with, and I mean loosely lived, anywhere from a day or two to like 2 months, and I get to know them way better than if I just date them once, twice a week. They move in. One of them had a kid. She moved in with the kid for a month. The other one had a cat. Other ones, then I had an experience with 2 ladies living with me for a week. So interesting experiences I've never dreamt of having, and it teaches me things about women and men, what they say, what they really mean when they say things. And it just shows me what I'm looking, who I'm looking for. It shows me clearer. Now, I have been today talking to well, several ladies in the morning, and then some of them you've seen on the video, or you will see. And when I came home, I spoke to this very interesting lady who lives in city that starts with a letter B in the States, and she's married, and she wants to be friends, which again, very strange. Well, not really strange. People need friends, people need love. I need love. I feel lonely sometimes being alone. It's lonely, but that's okay. I've learned how to deal with it, and I'm learning every day. It felt lonely last night. I wanted to go out, and I said, nah, forget it, it's too late. Plus with the corona, you can't really go out much anymore lately. So I spoke to this lady very nicely. Then I spoke to another older lady who I want to introduce to my very good friend. And then this lady, the Maryland lady, came, and then we had a nice lunch, and now I'm here. But what I want to do is every day I am transmitting from this channel is to tell myself, you know, now it's in 2 languages now, so I have to keep track of what I'm saying in which language about my life. I want to talk about my life, how it's been, how it is, and how I see it happening in the future, because I see future clear, so clear. They call it clairvoyance, when you see clear. So I'll start with this. I was born, and I think I mentioned it, I was born in Ukraine, grew up in Ukraine, Soviet Union, was born in 1973. Had a great childhood, I could say, great parents, and stuff like that.
Yes, but what is the size?
It has to be like 11 feet. 11 feet. 10 is a little short. 11, 12. Ну 11 нормально, да.
Окей, another parameter.
Вот и все. It's usually, it's pretty standard. Чтобы только она была твердая, вот такая, из такого, из этого fiberglass такая. Чтобы не была надувная и пенопластовая, чтобы не была. Те плохие. Есть 3 вида. Надувная, забудьте об этом. Пенопластовая, foam, not as bad, но тоже такая вся болтается. А вот такая твердая, вот как это, она из такого, из какого-то такого пластика. А в ней внутри какой-то тоже материал, I don't know. Но вот это вот в Costco можно купить за $600. Это самая такая, вот такого типа, да. Я крайне советую. Будем вместе. В Costco просто дешевле, чем на долларов на 100, чем где-то. Можно заказать на Амазоне. Привезут вам целую коробку, чтобы никуда не ходить даже. Прямо домой. You can order from Amazon.
Okay.
Good luck.
12 feet.
12, 11, 12. 11 is okay, because 12 is long. I mean, to transport it, the longer, она будет тяжелее транспорт.
Окей. Сколько это?
Я не знаю, это я одолжил, но это где-то, наверное, 11. Они все примерно там. Это немножко нестабильно. Вот мои, я могу на них катать девушек, а это, на этой тяжело, она шатается. Видите? Ну, привыкаешь, потом легко. На связи, будем вместе кататься. I wanna go to Bahamas one day. It's beautiful, на доске.
Как насчет акулы?
Какие там? У них свои дела, у нас свои. Мы им нафиг не надо, этим акулам. Я видел одну там, ну и что, она уплыла. Ей до меня дела нет. Давайте, хорошего вечера вам. So anyway, so I was born in Ukraine, 1973, and then had a great childhood. Then my parents told me you gotta work hard, become a doctor, which I did. Learn music, which I did. Had a little bit of a repressed sexual, which again is not uncommon, sexual orientation. No one told me how things were done until I learned. I mean, you know, communist country is not much different from any other country. Very repressed, and nobody talked. We had a thing saying, there is no sex in Soviet Union. Doesn't exist. I guess the only thing that existed was love. Anyway, so I was born, I grew up, went to school. We have a system in Russia, at least back then, I'm sure still now, where we go from the 1st grade till 10th grade in the same group, we call it class. We don't change classes. From 1st to 10, we basically grow up with same group of kids. So these kids usually stay friends with you forever, because we don't keep going in and out of these classes. Like here, when I came to the States when I was 16 in '89, and I had 2 years of high school in Brooklyn, where we kept going from class to class. So I did meet some friends, but it was not as close-knit as a Russian system. So basically that's what happened. So we immigrated to United States in '89. Me, my parents, my uncle and his family, my brother, and then my grandparents came 2 years later. So I finished high school. I went to NYU for pre-med in '91, from '91 to '95. Sounds like I'm writing my resume here, which is good. Beautiful, beautiful view. Tomorrow, my plan is to go at 6 in the morning and meet the sun. I want to be like Beatles. Here comes the sun, na 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 na. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right, na 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 na, like that. That's what I'm gonna do in the morning and tomorrow. But I gotta wake up, because I don't wake up, and then I miss the sun. And today, you're not gonna believe, because I was in rehab for alcohol, which is pretty crazy, because I wasn't even drinking all that heavy. But being a physician, maybe I shouldn't be saying that. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that, but it's too late. I already said it. So in any case, well, let me not talk about that. Whatever. So bottom line is, where did I stop? I stopped. See, sometimes you're being honest. Nobody wants that honesty from people. Look at these waves. So I finished NYU. Could not get in. Oh my God, look at these waves. Look at this. Now it's a nice little wave I caught. Nice. Что это было? Ты видишь, что было? Ужас. Волна. So anyway, so I graduated NYU. Now in NYU I met my then, well, future wife, now ex-wife, Carolina. And I was only 19. So that's a whole story on its own. So then I could not get into medical school in the States, because I was messing around, get a couple of C's, and then an MCAT and all that nonsense. I had a pretty good MCAT, but whatever. So I had to go to Grenada, West Indies in 1995. I was 22 years old. So then, and then